Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Got a little John Deere riding lawnmower here. Little project I picked up. And I want to come out here and mess with it tonight. It's a GX75. Has a little 9 horsepower Kawasaki engine on the back of it. And I think it's a 30-inch cut from what I've looked up about it. So it belonged to my mother's neighbor before he passed away. He gave it to her. It looks like it was originally bought Chesapeake Rental place that used to be on Great Bridge Boulevard in Chesapeake, Virginia. This is a pretty old machine. Not really sure exactly what year it is. Say somewhere in the 90s. And looks like from the battery, the last time a battery was put in it was, looks like 4 of 15 down there. So I don't know when the last time it ran was, but I never actually saw the guy next door to my parents use this. So let's take a look. Looks like a little bit of fuel in there. Looks kind of red, maybe like some stable was put in it. But that's just at the very bottom, so carburetor might be good. Let's take a look at the oil. Shows full on the stick, that's good. Alright, so there we got the wire coming in the spark plug. And looks like the fuel was in the on position right there. Old filter on it. A little bit of stuff still jiggling around in that filter there. So I think what I want to do, like I said, pull this spark plug out and take a look inside the cylinder, see if there's any rust. I doubt there is. It was stored dried in a shed. But, you know, years of sitting, like I said, don't know how long. Could have some problems. Always best take a look in the cylinder if you can. Alright, so I just pulled the spark plug out. A little bit of oil maybe. Last time it was ran, but not bad looking, right? So let's go ahead and take a look inside that cylinder. Alright, so here we can see the top of the piston, and we can see the cylinder wall, and we can see some cross hatching. I don't see any rust in there. Just that same carbon buildup on top of the pistons, maybe a little bit of oil burning. But I'd say the cylinder looks good. Let's take a look at the carb next. Alright, drop the bowl out of it. And there's actually just some old, really stinky fuel and just a little teeny bit of trash down, you see here at the bottom of the bowl. So we'll clean that out with some carburetor cleaner, throw this back on. I'm thinking maybe, you know, with this little bit of stuff in there, the jets probably aren't clogged. We'll see what it does. Alright, and there we go, just like new. So I'll go ahead and put that back on and throw some gas in it and a fresh battery, and we'll see what that does. Okay, after looking just below the bowl and everything's kind of sticky down here, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and pull off the carburetor and give it a good clean. So let's go ahead and pull this stuff out of the way. Got a nice clean air filter on there. Set that aside. See how we got to get this piece off. See if this will just slide back maybe. Alright, there we go. Looks like it just pulls off from there. I just wasn't pulling enough. I don't want to break anything. This is really old brittle plastic, this lower piece. So, but nice little manifold here. It's nice and made out of aluminum. It says Japan on it. Kawasaki. So it looks like we can just pull this off now. And then we got the carburetor right here. We got our fuel inlet. Gotta disconnect these linkages right here. Slide the carb off, and then we'll be able to have access to it to clean it, clean out the jets, and get it running right. Oh yeah, look at that jet there. Glad I pulled it off, because I mean that's completely clogged up. It wouldn't run. You could dump gas down the carburetor through the top and get it to bump over and run for a second, but with that jet clogged up like that, it would definitely not run right. So now that I got the carburetor pulled off, I can go ahead and disassemble it the rest of the way, pull the float off. Looks like the needle is moving. Looks like it is moving there, so looks like just cleaning out that jet, take it apart a little bit more, and should be good as new. All right, once you got one of these old carburetors off, you got the bowl off of them, can't be more easy to take apart. You got a little pin here that holds the float. It's probably going to be the hardest part to pull that out. There we go. And we should be able to pull up our float and our needle. So you can see that still looks good. Little rubber tip on there, still looks good. Wasn't stuck. And then we can pull out the jet right here. Small little flat tip screwdriver. And that's probably going to be stuck pretty well. Yeah, that may require some soaking. Maybe put a little bit of penetrant fluid down there. Let's see. All right. All right. And there's our jet right there. Completely clogged up. And we'll spray that out and maybe feed a little bit of wire through it so we can see light through the other side. So another little thing that's in here is an emulsion tube. So that sits below the jet. I need to be able to get that out. You can kind of see the brass just below there. You can see it again. Let's get that angled right. See the tip of it sticking up right there where I'm pointing at it with the screwdriver. Need to be able to get that out because that has little holes that mix the air and the fuel that come up through the jet. So I need to be able to get that clean, or it won't run right even if that jet is cleared out. If that emulsion tube, if those little ports are clogged up. So let me figure out how to get that out. Okay, so it looks like with the same screwdriver, I'm able to just get it turning counterclockwise and get it to come out. And you'll see all the crud I'm talking about once I get this out. There we go. See the threads there? Alright, and wow, they're actually clear. Let me see if I can get it to focus. See the little holes here? They're actually clear. I'm really surprised. So a lot of times when the jet's clogged up, this will be clogged up as well. I mean, you just see the sludge on the end of this thing. But that makes it easier. We'll clean this up and pop everything back together once we clean all the passages in the carburetor. So use some brake clean, carburetor clean, you know, whatever works. Carburetor cleaner is a little bit stronger, but can't seem to find mine. Thought I had a couple cans on the shelf. Yeah, that's not doing much with the brake clean. Had the same problem with the bowl when I was cleaning it, so let me find my carburetor cleaner and clean this stuff up. Alright, so we got the emulsion tube cleaned up, and we have a little jet right here cleaned up. You can see light through it, and we're going to put those back in. Also pulled out two little jets right here. There's one here and one here. Clean those up so I have fluid coming through. You can see come out the lower part, and this one. So we got flow through those now coming out the bottom of the carb. We'll go ahead and put the tube back in. And then we'll put our jet in once we get this seated. Rinse out. And the jet, just drop it in. Little the tip one. There we go. We'll go ahead and put our needle and our float back on. Just drop that down in there. There we go. I'll give it a little test. So you can just put your mouth there, push a little bit of air, and then make sure that it seals. And I made a little template and made a new gasket for the little intake manifold. So put that on there. The cylinder head to carburetor gasket was good. It's still on the engine block, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and stick this on, see how it does. All right, carburetor's back on. Just got to put on the air filter housing, and I want to go ahead and rinse out this fuel tank with the line disconnected still. Just put like a little bucket down here and just flush a little bit of fuel through it, get that nasty junk out of the tank, and then we'll hook it up and put the battery out of my 0 turn and this, get this 9-10-year-old battery out, and we'll see if it starts. All right, we got it outside now. Got the old fuel flushed out of the tank, line reconnected to the carburetor, batteries in it. Also noticed something pretty cool. There's a little repair tag in here. You can see that. It looks like it was last worked on 2/9 of 2005. It's got the model number and serial number there. Pretty cool. Go ahead and try to start it up. All right, let's see. Got the brake on. Nothing. Oh, shit. We got something. Need to have this on choke. Deck up. Gotta know what you're doing, I guess. Alright, we're riding along. Grass is dead, but it's good for next season for my parents. All right, guys, here it is. So y'all heard it run, start up, and go around the yard, did a little bit of cutting. It was moving a little bit slow, so I'll show y'all what was going on with that. All right, guys, so what I was saying with the machine moving a little bit slow, you have this long spring here, and what it does is apply tension to the drive belt, and it hooks up underneath the footwell here on the right side of the machine, and there's 2 holes. See, I have it in the further hole right now, right here, but it was originally in this hole. So when the belt gets a little bit stretched and worn, you can move the spring and relocate it to the further hole to give it more tension on the belt. So now it moves along and doesn't slip and drives like it's supposed to. And of course it starts up and runs pretty good. Put it on full choke, turn the key to the on position, give it a little bump, Fires right up. Take it out of the choke, sits there, idles nicely, revs up. Runs really good. All the smoke cleared up with it as well. So I also started doing a little bit of cleaning on it as well. You can see on this side, you can see your reflection in the paint now. I don't know how well that's picking up. Looks like it's picking up pretty well, but you can see your reflection in the paint. All I did was wipe it off with a little bit of glass cleaner, and then I put a little bit of cleaner wax on it. So I just did one side of the machine. You can see here, as compared to the way it was before, kind of doing a 50-50 comparison here. So you can see what it looked like before over here. Looked like it wasn't going to do anything, but a little bit of cleaner, a little bit of elbow grease, and it goes a long way. So I'm going to continue cleaning up the machine, get it all cleaned up so my parents have a nice little rider to move around the yard with instead of pushing around a push mower. Started cleaning up the engine as well. So it's cleaning up nicely. I'm going to get a new seat cover for it, and should be ready to go for them for next summer. So if y'all made it this far into the video, I appreciate y'all sticking around. I have some other projects to work on coming up soon. I got some work to do to the Grizzly. The last Busco trip with it wasn't that pleasant to it. A little bit of body damage, kind of flopping around. And I got a left rear axle to put in it, so I'm gonna be doing a little bit of work to that. I may do a little bit of filming on it. Also got some work on the 4Runner coming up here soon, and the 2000 Silverado. Got some paint work to do on that, on the hood and the roof. So a little bit of paint work and a little bit of work under the hood. Got a water pump to put on it and stuff, so that's coming up soon. Just giving y'all a little bit of heads up on what's coming. If y'all been to the channel before, y'all seen these vehicles. So there's no shortage of projects around here. So stay tuned, guys. I appreciate y'all watching and making it this far. See y'all next time.